So the first email template that we're going to design is the new product launch or product introduction email. And this is one of the best reasons to send an e-commerce marketing email. And it's often the most effective in terms of generating sales. So when you're thinking about what type of image to use, it should ideally illustrate the product's benefits. So it could be a lifestyle image or it could be a close-up of the product itself. And the headline should also reinforce the main product benefit or the way you're positioning the product. Now, keep in mind, you can also introduce products to new subscribers, even if the products themselves are not new. And I'll show you how to do that in an automated email welcoming sequence. And another thing you can do is think of new ways to position or combine products into themes. And this gives you another reason to send an email to the list that may get them interested in your product or have them looking at them in a slightly different way. So let's get into the process itself in MailChimp. So this is your dashboard page in MailChimp. This is where you'll land anytime you log in or when you click on the little chimp icon here in the corner. And we're going to click on Create Campaign. And this is going to be an email. We're just going to design a regular email for now. I'll get into all of these later on in the process, but let's call this new product launch. All right, I'm going to skip over these for now, and we're just going to click Design Email. Now, MailChimp presents you with a number of layout options to choose from, but going back to my previous lesson, we are going to choose a very simple one-column constrained email layout to begin with. We can always add other elements down the road if we choose. All right, so here is the MailChimp design interface. If you haven't seen it before, haven't been in it, over here we have a number of squares, and these are what are known as design blocks. Essentially, you just drag these design blocks over to your template in order to build your email. Now, in this email right now, we have four main elements. We have the pre-header, which is really just a default that allows people to view the email in their browser. You have the logo area. We have the body content area. And then all this down here is footer content, so it doesn't change from email to email. So first order of business is to add your logo. So we're just going to click on this, and this is a placeholder, so we'll hit the replace button here. Now, as you can see, I've obviously uploaded a whole lot of images and content here already, but if you hadn't, you can just hit the upload button here and choose your logo from a local folder here. In my case, I'm going to choose this logo here. Now, when you're designing your logo or resizing your logo for MailChimp, I would strongly suggest you size it to 600 pixels wide with a little bit of breathing space around it or a bit of a border around it. And that'll have your logo looking something like this, which frankly looks quite large from a design perspective. But what I suggest you do is once you've inserted your logo, go into Settings and click Constrained Image Dimensions by 50% for high resolution displays. And that'll half your logo, which is a nice size, I would say. Big enough, but not too big to lose its elegance. And that's going to ensure that on Retina devices, of which there are many today with people using iPhones and Mac computers, it's going to still look sharp on a high resolution screen. The other thing I would suggest to do with your logo is to place a link in your logo. It's commonly understood that clicking on a logo will actually take you to a home page. So I'm just going to insert our home page address here, and that will be inserted as a link there. So we'll hit Save and Close. The next thing I would have you do is drag an image block over underneath your logo. And now we're going to browse for an image. And again, if the images aren't in your library, you can simply click Upload and choose from your local drive. In this case, I'm going to choose this image here. All right, now this is an image I've uploaded directly from my drive. And MailChimp is giving me a message here. This image is so big it may obliterate inboxes. Images should be 600 by 800 pixels wide. So MailChimp will allow you to upload any size image, and you can see this one is 3,400 pixels by 4,200 pixels, and it will constrain your image to 600 pixels wide. However, it will not resize the photo. So in other words, that is still a very large file size. It'll take extra time to load, and some email programs may not even load it given its size. So MailChimp makes it very easy to resize photo. You can just hit Let's Fix It, and it's automatically going to resize your photo to an optimal file size. In this case, it's chosen 833 pixels wide. So let's hit Apply there. Now the photo doesn't look any different, but in the background, it has been optimized essentially for your email. I'm going to adjust the settings here as well. And this is just a slight trick. Looks a little cleaner. I find having it go edge to edge. It's personal preference. One other thing I might do here, this image has a little bit of white space at the top. So I'm going to edit that out. And MailChimp has a fairly powerful image editor. I'm going to hit Edit here. Now there are a lot of options here. You can get into colors, overlays, and so on. So there's a lot of powerful editing you can do in MailChimp. I tend to focus mostly on just resizing and cropping photos because I do most of my editing in Photoshop before I import stuff, but you can play around with those. Just remember that a little can go a long way. All right, so I'm going to hit the crop function here, and I could choose to crop it into a square. Square is pretty good. In general, you don't want your image to be too large because people are scrolling on a mobile device down a single column, so they may have to scroll to see your entire email. So let's just crop it like that. That gives us a good view of the products, and I'll click Apply. I've cropped it, Save. So that's kept the focus a little bit more on what we want in the email and reduce the vertical size of the email for scrolling. All right, next let's look at the body, copy, and content here. So we're going to have a headline, and we'll have a little bit of descriptive text. Now you can edit your copy right in your email if you feel like you like to be creative and sort of in the editor. There's nothing wrong with that. In this case, I've actually prepared some copy, so I'm just going to copy and paste it into MailChimp. All right, so I want to have a benefit statement here, and in this case, our prints are really the benefit. This is not a new product, it's a new print. So I'm going to focus on the print. And unicorns are kind of a popular, trendy concept right now, and a lot of kids really like them, and this is obviously a kid's product. So I'm just going to copy and paste in here, and you might want to use paste and match style to make sure you're doing that. And so the headline is Bring the Magic With You. Maybe I'll add with our new lucky unicorn prints. Most people are likely only going to read the headline. So keep that in mind as you're designing it. And I'll add a little bit of body copy just to flesh things out. Paste and match style here. Bring it a little closer together. I'm going to select all of this because it's a little bit of copy. I'm going to center it just to keep things kind of clean here. I also find that this copy is a little close to the image. I might let it breathe just a little bit. So I'll drag over a divider block here. And that includes a line, but I can remove the line strictly by going here and clicking None. And look, you have a lot of options for lines if you want to use dividers as well. Okay, so now we've got your logo as a header. We've got the image. We've got your body copy. And next, we are going to drag over the button block. Make sure you place this above the gray area here. And it says Buy Now, which is the call to action. That's a little strong for the situation, so I'm going to just write Browse the collection. And of course, we're going to enter the web address for that page on our website, which I happen to have saved here. And the default color here is blue. If you'd like to change the style of that button, let's say you've got a branded color you're using, you can click Style. And so all we have to do is select the color here. We tend to use a kind of a dark green color. There are also some other settings here you can play with. You can, in terms of alignment, you can also expand the button to be full width. And you could increase the size of your copy, which will increase the size of the whole button. Let's make it 24. Okay, so that's a nice strong call to action. So now we want to add some of the boilerplate brand content that I referred to earlier. So in order to separate this from the main intent of this email, I'm just going to place a divider line here. So hopefully you've taken the time to do the exercise I suggested and decide what you'd like that brand boilerplate content to be. And if you haven't, you can take a little time now. Now in my case, I've decided that we're going to focus on our brand benefits. And I've already uploaded a few images here that we can use. So I'm going to use the image plus caption block here. And the images are just kind of icons that are visual references for each of the benefits. So the first benefit for us is eco-friendly. So I've chosen a leaf for that benefit. And we'll just do eco-friendly fabrics. Center that. And again, I can affect the styles here. I'm going to make the size, say, 18 in this case. We'll bold that as well. Now I can either drag another one or I could just hit repeat here. Duplicate it. So I'll replace this image now with the next, which is a light bulb here. And all right, smart design. Again, just duplicate that. And the third one is machine washable. Save and close. So the content of this email is entirely done. We're just going to focus on the footer now. And you have the option for social links here, which I'd suggest you fill in. So for us, it's So Young Inc. for Twitter. Facebook also So Young Inc. I'm going to replace this with our email, our website link here, .ca. Now you have the option to add other services. Instagram is a big one for us, so I'm going to add that here. Instagram / So Young Inc. And there are even others like YouTube and so on that are set as defaults here. Now you can also affect the order of those. I might put Instagram at the top since that's kind of our biggest social media channel, and I'll move Facebook above Twitter. We can hit save and close. Or actually there's some stylistic things. Some people like just solid icons. You can do outlines. You can change the style of them. Gray is kind of nice, just plain gray, a little subtler. Let's do that. I'll hit save and close. All right. So there we have it. We've designed our first email template with some promotional copy as well as some boilerplate brand copy here down near the bottom. And before I close this, I'm going to hit save as a template. And we're going to call this product launch template. And this could essentially be the template for any number of different email types, but we're just going to name that for now and click save. And this will now be under our saved templates folder. So there we have it. We've created our first e-commerce email design, and this will also serve as a template for the other designs that we'll be creating. I'll also get into how to send these out with effective subject lines and even to run A/B tests on elements of your email.